They're already talking about 2026. Not publicly. Not in hype posts or countdown videos. It's happening in rooms that don't take photos. In planning sessions that don't use words like tradition or culture. The tone isn't excitement. It's caution. It's preparation. It's the kind of language people use when they expect something to go wrong and need to be able to say they tried to prevent it. When an event needs this level of preparation years in advance, it stops being an event. It becomes a problem to manage, a risk to absorb, something to be reduced, shaped, and controlled before it arrives. That's what Daytona Bike Week 2026 actually represents. Not a rally, not a celebration, but a future disturbance everyone wants to survive without being blamed for. That's why this is trending so early. Not because of a lineup, not because of a historic anniversary. Just a year, a date. People don't search dates like this unless they feel something shifting, unless they sense they might be looking at the last version of something familiar, even if they can't articulate what's changing yet. Listen carefully to how Bike Week is talked about now. The language has changed. It's not about energy or atmosphere. It's about crowd dynamics, traffic behavior, incident reduction, public safety posture. That's not celebration language. That's post-incident language, spoken in advance. It treats the future like evidence that hasn't happened yet. And once something is framed this way, it changes who it's for. Not officially, not on flyers or websites, but in reality. Because when the goal becomes control instead of experience, the people who made the experience real become inconvenient. You don't remove them directly. You just make it harder for them to exist comfortably. Bike Week used to survive on tolerated chaos, loose edges, noise spilling where it wasn't supposed to, encounters that weren't scheduled. That unpredictability wasn't a flaw. It was the point. Now, unpredictability is the threat. And when unpredictability becomes the enemy, culture becomes collateral damage. Some people watching this will feel relieved by that. They'll think, good. It needed to calm down, and that reaction quietly reveals something important. It means they were never there for what's being lost. Because the danger was never the motorcycles. It was the absence of control. And modern systems don't forgive anything they can't model, forecast, and ensure. Daytona Bike Week 2026 isn't trending because riders are excited. It's trending because institutions are nervous. Cities don't like traditions they don't fully own. Sponsors don't like participants. They prefer audiences. And a generation that doesn't ride still wants the economic benefit without the cultural discomfort that comes with it. So you don't cancel Bike Week. That would be obvious. You reshape it. You redesign the environment. You turn something lived into something observed. You add enough structure that nothing truly unexpected can happen, while insisting nothing has changed. More barriers, more zones, more rules framed as recommendations, not bans. Bans cause backlash. Just friction. Enough friction that certain people quietly decide it's not worth it anymore. And here's the part nobody likes admitting. The more an event is prepared for, the less real it becomes. Real moments aren't optimized. They don't fit neatly into plans. They embarrass officials. They resist management. That's why Bike Week makes planners uncomfortable. It always has. That's why 2026 matters. Not because it will be bigger, but because it will be tested, pressure tested, to see how much can be changed before the original audience stops recognizing themselves inside it. Routes will shift. Spaces will be regulated. Behavior will be categorized. All justified. All reasonable. All subtle enough that most people won't notice. But if you've been going long enough, you'll feel it immediately. The silence where there used to be tension. The spacing where crowds used to press together. The feeling that you're being managed instead of welcomed, like you're part of a scenario instead of a moment. Once an event crosses that line, it doesn't come back. Control never retreats. It only expands. Each year framed as an improvement, a refinement, a lesson learned, until what remains is clean, safe, and hollow. So when people search Daytona Bike Week 2026, they're not really planning. They're checking the temperature, asking a question they don't want to say out loud. Is it still ours? The answer isn't a hard no. It's worse. It's not entirely. It's becoming something designed around riders instead of for them, which means the real bike week won't disappear. It'll just move into margins, side streets, unofficial spaces, moments without permits or branding. That's where it will still exist, briefly, quietly, until those spaces are mapped too. Most people won't notice when 2026 arrives. The engines will still roar. The footage will still look good. The event will still happen. But something essential will already be missing. And the people who feel it won't complain online. They won't argue in comment sections. They'll just stop coming. Not angrily. Not loudly. With absence. That's the one variable no planner can fully prepare for. You can manage crowds. You can't manage emptiness. And once that emptiness settles in, no amount of preparation brings the soul back.